Hey, and welcome back. Today, I thought we'd talk about this. This is a Solex. So a Solex is the classic French light motorcycle. After World War II, people needed a cheap runaround, and the French came up with this. In Britain, we had things like the BSA Bantam, but this is a classic, and let me tell you a bit about it and its interesting history with me. It's front-engined and it has a friction drive. So it's a single cylinder, about under 50 cc. And there's a friction roller which rubs on the front wheel. Two-cycle, and it's built by this company Solex. Now you probably know Solex because they build carburetors. You know, you probably had them in your VW Beetle, the Solex carburetor. Same company. Unfortunately, same kind of soft metal. They weren't very well built, but they're such fun. So I bought this one on what's the French equivalent of Craigslist. Here's the good corner, le bon coin. And it was about 200 bucks, which is great. And the guy sold it to me with this amazing story. He said, this is about the last Solex ever built. And it comes in this burgundy red color, and it was his dad's, and it was a pretty good price. And I just have to tell you the story of when I picked it up. So here in France, people really don't like to, first of all, give you their name. Certainly, they don't give you their first name. They might give you their family name, but their prénom, no. They also don't ever tell you where they live. So when you buy something on the French equivalent of Craigslist, you never go to their home, you don't know who they are, and you always meet in a public space. Oh, and they don't like to use email. Luckily, this guy understood that I don't speak much French, so he did SMS text. And that was fine. And we agreed to meet at a local village. It's about 30, 40 miles from where we live here in southwest France. And he said, meet me behind the church and at 10 o'clock. So being British and a pilot, I turn up at 9:58 in the trusty Renault Kangoo van, which I think is big enough for the Solex. No guy. Now I'm pretty intolerant, asked my wife. By 10:15, I'm going, the guy's no show. 10:30, I'm just like, what am I gonna do? You know, I can't phone him, there's no way of contacting. And then, and this is the best story, and then out of the blue, pop, 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 pop. So I'm parked at the bottom of a hill. There's a car park, a church, and this hill that goes up through the village. And coming down the hill is this thing with this quite young guy, pop, 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 down round the church. I went, oh, great. This is at 10:45, by the way. Pop, 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 comes about 2 or 3 yards in front of me, quits the engine and coasts up and stops. And we go, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. And, you know, very limited French, very limited English. And he says, it's the Solex. Do you want to ride it? And I went, no. I saw you riding down the hill. It's absolutely fine. He goes, So out come the 200 euros, put it in the van, asked him, does he want a lift home? Because he's obviously come to meet me on his Solex. He went, oh, wait. And so we drive about 3 or 4 miles back down towards my house to his house, which is a beautiful old water mill. Why didn't we meet there? Anyway, no idea his name. I drive home. So pleased to have this. It's a Solex made in the 1980s. It's 1989, and I'll get onto this in a minute. So I bring it home, pull it out of the van. I'd read that, you know, you just push the motor onto the front and push it a bit and it fires and you drive down the road, and I'd seen it driving. No way. Absolutely wouldn't run. I mean, nothing. I tried everything. fuel, everything. So I just go over it like you do. No spark. Absolutely no spark. Okay, how did he write it? All right, that's a mystery. He must have done something to get it started. So I dig in a bit deeper. No fuel pump. There's a little rubber diaphragm that, as the motor goes round, it wobbles and pumps fuel up to the carburetor. Totally broken. The diaphragm was snapped, ripped. There's no way it would pump fuel. How did he write it? Took the carburetor apart just to see. Totally blocked. It's not, obviously, it looks like dinosaurs were living in there, birds' nests. It hadn't run for years. It was dry, and the jet was completely blocked. How did he write it? So I just think this is the best mystery. You know me and conspiracy theories. Occam's razor, the simplest explanation. Here's what I think he did. He told me to park at the bottom of the hill behind the church. He was there at 10, waited till I turned up and kept me waiting, knowing that I was at the bottom of the hill, went and hid behind the church up the hill, had a Walkman cassette with a recording of the sound of a Solex running and a speaker in his jacket or in his backpack, turned it on, volume right up, and coasted down the hill around the church and switched it off just before he got to me and said, "This is Solex." That's crazy, but how else did he get this to run? So now I'm just going to tell you the story of how I got it fixed, and it's a great story. So, proud owner of a 1989 Solex. I started taking it apart to see what was up. Broken fuel pump, needed a new jet. They do still make Solex parts, so I was able to order them. New spark plug. It needed a return fuel hose. Still didn't run. And I was so lucky to find this guy called Brian Solex. I'll put a link in the description if you're into Solexes. Brian lives in New York, and he took me through step by step. So first, I sent him a picture, and I said, "This is my 1989 Solex." And he went, When? What's the serial number? 89000, whatever. He went, 1989. They didn't make Solexes in 1989. They don't exist. I don't know what you've got. So this is just the best story of what I bought. So Solex made these iconic French bikes from the end of World War II up until, and don't quote me on these dates, but up until the late 60s, early 70s, Solex. And, original design, original machine tools, molds, presses, and things like that. And then in the 70s sometime, don't quote me, they sold the Solex company to Renault, or a French motor car company, who remarketed it. This is in the kind of petrol crisis. People wanted low-cost runarounds, and they came in all different jazzy colors, and they were still the same Solexes. They've never had different engines. They're all under 50 cc, which is important in France, and we'll discuss that why in a minute. And they continued for about, I'm making these figures up, say 10 years. And then they discovered something terrible. All the presses and the molds and the casts had worn out. And to retool, to carry on building Solexes would have cost so much, they scrapped the lot, just closed it down. And there are no Solexes from the late 60s, early 70s onwards, after Renault bought the company and scrapped it, gone. This bike doesn't exist. It's invisible. And where did it come from? 1989? Eventually we got to the bottom of it. What happened is that Renault didn't put the tooling in the skip, but a Hungarian family bought it, shipped it to Hungary, put it all together and started stamping out Hungarian-built Solexes using the worn-out equipment. And they built this bike. It's a Hungarian Solex built in the late 80s using the same, now broken, molds. So when I took the engine apart, I found that it wasn't built right. The classic thing was I still couldn't get a spark. And so I have to tell you the story. So I couldn't get a spark, and this guy, Brian Solex, said to me, oh, you need to lock the engine, block the engine, there's a special tool, and then take off the flywheel with a puller, and then check the points and clean it all up, and that'll be your problem. I went, okay. So I bought this blocking thing. It was way too big. There's a tiny hole in the cylinder. So I undo it, and it didn't fit. So I thought, oh, it's fine. I just shoved in quite a thin screwdriver and then went to pull off the flywheel, and guess what happened? Ding! The screwdriver broke inside the cylinder. Drop. 2 inches of screwdrivers now in my sump. That's not going to work, is it? So that involved splitting the case and eventually getting the screwdriver out. And then I discovered the blocker, goes in the spark plug, and it's longer than the spark plug. So when the piston comes up, it hits it, and then you can use the puller to take the flywheel off. So I take the flywheel off, and what I found, and this is still the mystery of how this guy drove this bike, it didn't go round. It doesn't actually rotate. The flywheel is ovoid like an egg. The casting is so bad and so worn out that, you know, there's an inner flywheel with magnets and an outer case, and it goes round and round on the single crank, produces some electricity, produces the spark, and inside there's the points. It didn't go round, and I couldn't file it. Oh, and the other thing is it fits on a, on a keyway on the shaft, and there's a Woodruff key, and the whole flywheel goes on the shaft with the key to lock it roughly in place. The flywheel has a cam, which is approximately the right timing for the engine, and with the points you can advance or retard it by a couple of degrees, but the basic setting is set by this cam, and the Woodruff key was missing, so the guy had put this ovoid, how did it run? Ovoid flywheel on and just tightened it up, but it had moved, so it was so out of timing. It was like days out of timing. I mean, it didn't make any sense. So my only solution to that was to buy a vintage French-built flywheel from the 60s, which is exactly the same because they've never changed the engine. It cost a fortune and a Woodruff key, and put it on. It went round and round and round. Suddenly there was a spark, and using Brian's skill he told me how to get the timing just before top dead center. He also took me through, he did this amazing thing, rather than just being, James May moment, the Haynes manual where first remove engine. No, he took me through step by step. He had me, when we replaced the fuel pump, the little diaphragm, he had me push it forward and check that fuel came out the top pipe. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yes, good. The next day he said, okay, take the little blockade bolt out at the bottom of the cylinder and push it, and you should see whoosh, an atomized spray of fuel. Yes, good, put it back. Now check, have you got a spark? Yes. Okay, does it run? No. Okay, so we need to adjust the timing. Find top dead center, screwdriver in the spark plug hole, turn it around, top dead center. Make sure the points are opening or closing, whatever they do at that point. Change it by about 2 degrees, tighten it up, track it. It ran! Yeah, so thanks Brian Solex, great guy. But how did the seller get it to run round the church? Okay, so now I've got this beautiful bike. It's got a rebuilt engine, minus dropped in screwdrivers. I put in new lights, it's all cleaned up, the brakes are good, it's got panniers on the back. It's fantastic. So now I can ride. Oh man, I can't ride it on the street here in France. Let me tell you, France is rather bureaucratic. These old bikes, they gave you this thing. So this originally didn't have license plates, and it was less than 50cc, so you didn't need a license, you didn't need insurance, and it certainly didn't need registering in any way prior to about the year 2000. So France said there's so many kids on mopeds, I mean, this is very much a kind of moped culture, dying, we want you all insured and we want license plates so the coppers can get you. So from 2000, a Solex needed to be registered with license plates, and you had to insure it to drive it on the road. And what they said was from 2000 to 2011, 11 years window, you could take the buyer's name, I don't know, your purchase order, any details you have of the Solex, and they would give you license plates, and then you had to buy insurance and you could ride it. When I bought this in 2014, they had stopped the scheme. So we live next door to a wonderful guy who's a used car salesman, and he specializes in vintage used cars, and he likes my Solex. And I said, how in bad French, how can I get it registered? He went, it's impossible. And he's right. Since 2011, so I joined the Solex Club, and they went, no. There is a way. You need the type certificate. I am a pilot. I mean, what the equivalent of a type certificate from Cessna. You need the original one from Solex that says it's a light motorbike, it's so many cc, it has a stamp by the factory, and it's signed, and it has your engine number and frame number on it. And you need a bill of sale from the original owner saying when he bought it, and it was his and he sold it to you. I didn't have either of those. So I can't ride it. It's just such a shame. I ride it around the garden. The geese, as you've seen in different films, the geese and the sheep chase me, and it runs great, but it's a pile of junk without license plates. I could get it insured. My insurance company were funny about it as well, because I said, could I just insure it anyway? And they went, what is it? And I said, Solex. And they looked up at the lookup table, and there was like VW Bug, Honda. And they didn't have a Solex. And I went, well, it's classic French. It's the most popular French motorbike ever built. And they went, oh yeah, we've heard of it, but it's not on our list. We'll just call it a Honda 50. So it's gone. Classic motorcycles in France are trouble. So if you are interested in buying a Solex in France, only, unless you want to run it around your farm, only buy one with number plates and with something called a carte grise, which is your registration document, and get it insured, and then you can ride it on the roads. Without that, you're running it around the garden. So write in the comments and tell me what you think the guy did to get it running, if it was running, when he sold it to me. Because honestly, the more I know about how bad this bike was, the more of a mystery it has become. Thanks for watching.